How do you thrive during a large gathering like a Dr. Joe Dispenza Advanced retreat with 2,100 people there? If you're highly sensitive, you're going to want to listen to this podcast because that's what we're talking about today on the Manifesting Guide. This is Aryana Rollins, and this is episode 62. Now, before I get into the content, which I recorded last week, I just got some new information. Now, if you're highly sensitive, you might think, oh, that's interesting. If you're not, you're like, she's crazy. One of the participants told me that there was research done, and there's an area of Nashville that has a burial ground for, I think she said, 300,000 Native Americans. Well, if you're sensitive at all, like I am, I can feel sadness. I've been in places where I have felt there was a war and there was a battle going on. And not that I'm going to talk about my sensitivity, but I just want to let you know that there might be some new information why it was so hard for me to navigate and be comfortable in that event. The Manifesting Guide is coming soon. If you'd like to be part of the waitlist and get access to some really cool bonuses, go to themanifestingguide.com/waitlist. Now, on to the episode. I'm fresh back from a Dr. Joe Dispenza Nashville Advanced retreat, and there's so much I want to share, especially for people who are highly sensitive or well advanced on their spiritual path. This is Aryana Rollins, and I'm going to give my experience and take it with a grain of salt because it is my experience. And if you're planning on going to an advanced retreat, how you can best prepare, because there's wonderful YouTube videos out there helping people, like, make sure you bring a pillow and a mat and a blanket, and all that's great. And I was well prepared on that end. But for this, there's nothing out there that I could find. So I'm someone who tends to speak plainly and direct. So let's get started. Okay, of any group of people, there's going to be everybody coming in at a different level. So some people were coming in with oxygen tanks. Some people were in wheelchairs. Some people were in walkers. Some people were full of desperate hope. And that's a term that came to me in meditation this morning. So they had great hope to be healed, whether it was physical condition, financial condition, emotional condition. There was a desperation of hope. Isn't that curious, that combination of words? So for somebody sensitive, you could feel that. What does that feel like? Well, for me, if I sense that someone's in need, my heart opens and I try to help. Well, when you're talking about 2,100 people in a room, all at various degrees and stages of need, and I went there as well. So I'm not saying I was like perfect and walking on water. No, not by any means. I had hopes for it. And if someone's in pain, then that's going to be a stronger need, a stronger crying need, especially if it's physical pain. Someone's dying from stage 4 cancer. Yes, that's present in these advanced retreats. There are miracles that have happened to people in there. So there's a reason why they're drawn there. And it's not you're going to a faith healer, not at all, which is why it makes it unique and profound, is that he's not giving you commands on what to do and how to fix things at all in any way. He's activating within yourself your capacity to heal. And he does that through guided meditation. So let me talk about the type of meditations that you're doing, and then we'll get back to the sensitivity. So this is going to be a little bit all over the place, but I'm going to speak direct. So his work has evolved since when I first started working with his meditations in 2017. And it's much more commanding. The voice is booming. It's much more directive. And in contrast to breaking the habit of being yourself, tuning into new potentials, AM, PM meditations, the love meditation, those were all of a certain time and genre. They're softer, they're gentler. There's, for highly sensitive people, you can relax, feel safe. Well, now the meditations are feel it. And I can't even do it because it's so hard for me to even do that. It's not my nature. So it's shocking. It's a bit booming. The music in there is amazing and his voice is booming. So that's the first adaptation that I would say a highly sensitive person has to make, is get used to that commanding voice. I call it his Wizard of Oz voice, In fact, there are things he does with the acoustics and the audio to make it more commanding. Now, is it effective? I believe so. I believe that sometimes people need to be strongly directed out of their programs, out of what the unconscious has said is, this is the way things are, and this is how your body is, and this is how life is, and this is how you feel. Because those programs are strong and they have access to everything. They have access to how our body physically works, how it digests, how we sleep, how we heal, or how we don't heal. So sometimes we need to be strong with the body. Kind of like a dog a little puppy who's 6 months old, who's running the house. Well, the body, once it becomes in charge, then it's going to need some very strong guidance to start to listen to another program. So, that's just how I see it. Okay. So he's using that technique, that technology to get people to become masters of their body again, which is fabulous because that's a passion of mine and what I do as well in terms of, in a much gentler fashion, is to have conscious control of the body. Conscious control and management. So when you say you want to do something, you follow through on it. But that's another conversation. Okay, so to be forewarned, those are the kind of meditations. The first days, we used the same meditation 3 times. And it was one of those commanding voices and very little guidance, like when he does the AM, PM meditations, or breaking the habit of being yourself, or tuning into new potentials. All of those have, there's a guidance, you know where you're going. Well, with these meditations, we're just commanding, feel it, and open your heart, and, focusing on center 1, center 4, center 6, and it was just like commanding, do it, do it, do it, do it. There was no guidance where I'm going to come to this end point. And it was shocking. It was shocking for my system. And so I couldn't meditate. I found myself, and I'm someone who's very comfortable. I can easily go into an hour meditation and go deep and come out feeling healed and profound revelations. But no, I was on hyper alert. So it kind of activated in me this wariness. That's a good term, a wariness. Yep. So I didn't know what was coming next until, the second and third time we did the same meditation. Well, I was on hyper alert. So my nerve endings were really stimulated, and I was wondering what's going to be happening next. So in retrospect, and again, this is me just a few days out of the retreat. I'm sure more is going to get unpacked and revealed, is that I didn't feel safe to let go. And I became aware, I tune into what I call my true self. Some people could say higher self, their God part, their spirit. I tuned into that, and what I got were certain tips that might be very helpful for someone who's highly sensitive, because you might by now be thinking, I don't recommend someone go. No, that's not at all the case. I recommend you go with eyes open and prepared. And especially, I would say, if someone is sick, if someone has a debilitating condition and they really want to heal, I would say be all over that, do that, and be prepared. I don't. I'm very fortunate, very blessed. The work that I've done for the past 20 years is, I think, helped me have good communication with my body, and helped it be in harmony and to be in good health. I know that may sound odd, but I suspect that the side effect of the work that I do has had that benefit, which I'm deeply grateful. So, what my true self said, because I'll tell you, I will admit this, I said I was going to be a straight talker on this. I wanted to leave. It was a day and a half into it. It was the end of, what was it? We met on Sunday, end of Tuesday. We started on Monday evening. End of Tuesday, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I had such anxiety. So I did a meditation. Yeah, isn't that funny? In my hotel room, did a meditation, and I tuned in, true self. I said, explain what was going on. And I said how to do this, how to be here, how to stay here. Because, as I said, I was wanting to pack the car and drive back. I tell you what, if it was only an hour away, I might have done it, but it was almost 14 hours there in my car. So you pause a moment, don't you? And the investment. So the message came back very strongly, you will regret it if you leave. I'm like, okay, you got my attention now. So 2 things I'm going to give you in terms of tips here is, one is to position yourself in the back row of the room. Yes, he does have colors associated with your badges. So there's blues, there's yellows, there's greens, there's whites, there's reds, purples, and you sit in different areas of the room, which is quite kind, because it means you can have the potential to be in the front of the stage, which is great. So for me, even though I didn't sit in my group, I usually tend to follow instructions, but I have a higher guidance now because I'm not doing very well in this room. So I sat in the back room, and interestingly, I found other sensitives back there, which was lovely. It was really nice to be around other sensitives. And that next meditation, that next morning, I was like, okay, all right, I'm doing okay. So I started to relax. The second thing, which I didn't end up doing, but what's fascinating is that I found out it was a brilliant suggestion. I didn't find out till the end. But have headphones. So what they do is they have headphones that you can check out for people who have difficulty hearing with the speakers, or they just need headphones. And that was what True Self said, is set up at the back, be in the last row, and have headphones. But I thought to myself, headphones? I forgot to bring them, but then I couldn't hear. Now I know why. You can check out headphones and you can hear more clearly. So what that's going to do is it's going to help tune out the outside more. It's going to be like you're doing your meditations at home. You've got your headphones, you're in your own little bubble. So basically that's what we were doing. I was doing to try to create my own little bubble. And speaking to other sensitives, they also said that they had no problem meditating at home, but it was really hard for them to let go. And interestingly, as soon as this one particular person I spoke with, they got home, deep meditation. So don't think it's going to ruin Dr. Joe meditations, which I was afraid of. I was actually concerned. Oh no, his meditations are profound and I've ruined it for myself. No, you'll come back if you are sensitive. So the third thing that I'm just adding, this is not what True Self said, is make sure you bring something from home. So one of my travel tricks is I bring a lightweight blanket and I put that on the bed because energetically that's now becomes my bed. And that blanket can actually, just like with little babies, it can start to smell like me, feels like home. So don't go get a new blanket for the event, which I do recommend you bring a blanket, is get a blanket well in advance and use it. Have it on your bed, have it on your lap when you're reading or watching TV. Get it infused with your energy so that when, and this is not something that I did, all I brought was, it was a yoga mat that for hot yoga. So it was kind of like a blanket, but not a blanket. So it didn't have my energy in me. I would take that to the gym to lay down on, instead of laying down on the dirty mats there. But get a blanket that smells like you, feels like you, and you bring that. Bring a pillow. And if you can, bring a pillow from home. Because again, it's got your energy in it. What you're trying to do is you're trying to create a sacred space, a bubble around you, so you can get the best of the event. Because I forgot to tell you this. You might be wondering, do I regret going? No. In the beginning, yes. The first year and a half, oh my gosh, it does feel like it was a long time. Day and a half. Oh my gosh, I really regretted going to it. But with these tips, I think you're going to have a fabulous experience. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to pause now, see what else I want to add. Okay, another one, really important. Highly sensitive people who are empathic. If you're like me, you've got certain foods you know that work for you. And I'm not saying that you need foods that don't have gluten in it or anything like that. I'm not saying that you have a debilitating condition. It's that you know you eat high vibration foods. I tend to eat fruits every day. I grow organic sprouts and I have avocado sandwiches for my lunch. So I'm in a routine. Now, my diet's not perfect by any means. No, not at all. But I generally do not eat refined sugar. It creates inflammation in my body and affects my immune system. That was something I learned 20 years ago when my son developed debilitating allergies, but that's another conversation. So I don't normally eat sugar. What happened? Well, I was looking for comfort. I didn't know this until yesterday, that I was looking for comfort. Well, what's comforting? Food, sugar. So they started to bring out the most incredible, delicious snacks, like freshly baked, warm kind of crumbles and like chocolate chip little things and banana bread. Well, I haven't eaten those things for, I don't know, years and years and years, especially in that quantity. I would say probably 15, 20 years, long time. So boy, did it taste good. I was in heaven. And did I just eat one? No, I ate two, I ate three. I was like just a little maniac if there was anything sugar. Well, that affects my immune system, not only my physical immune system, but my spiritual immune system. So I became less in command of my body. So I was more receptive, more open. So what I would suggest is really resist, because when you're in that kind of level of energy, 2100 people, and he's trying to get everyone into heart-brain coherence, because the primary reason for those events are healing. Oh, there's another reason. I will tell you that in a moment. But mostly why people go there is they're healing, and then I'll tell you the other reason, which I had no idea. Had I any idea? I was like, what? That's not what I want, but I'll tell you in a moment. Okay, so really have control over your diet. The food quality, it was a Gaylord, and well, a lot of people say it was really great food. For me, it was poor quality. I tend to buy good food. If it's going to be any chicken, it's going to be organic. I tend to buy organic when I can. Sometimes it's not even that fresh and the other's fresh. So then I will go with what's fresh. So the first few days, the food was really low vibration. Yes, food has a vibration. So if you're someone who's highly sensitive, you're already struggling with the energies of the room. Well, if you eat low vibration food, it's going to make it harder on you. So what I did is I stayed in what I call a cooking hotel. It was a timeshare. It had a little kitchen. So I went to the store and I bought really high quality sourdough bread, which has basically no sugar in it, organic eggs. I made my own breakfast. So I didn't eat breakfast with everybody. I went back and made my own breakfast. That was huge. So I'm on my own vibration. Okay. And then, so I'm getting stronger and I could be in the room and I could start to have deep meditations. So I'm not saying skip all meals. I did eat lunch and I was aware of the sugar craving, but by the time I had already got to this level of balance and my own, this is interesting, this phrase just came to me, my own inner coherence, because that's what got so disturbed and got shattered when I walked into the room of this desperate hope, people really needing healing. My inner coherence was shattered, and he's doing his utmost best to get in the room into one heart, one brain coherence for the healing that you do at the end of the event. There are 3 separate healing sessions on the last 3 days, and they're profound experience. I highly recommend those were amazing. I was grateful to witness that feeling in the room. Okay, I digress. So my inner coherence was shattered, which I also call I'm disconnected from my true self. And that process of aligning with my true self was what helped me heal from emotional anxiety, and it gave me the power to leave what was a very challenging relationship. So challenging, but again, I digress. I'm not going to attend to that. So I know what can happen when I'm out of alignment with true self. Oh, it's not a pretty picture. I can start to get anxious, sick, and so alignment is so important. So making those changes, having high vibration food, fruits, nuts, little berries, dates are a great thing because they're high sugar and they're not a bad kind of sugar. So bring your own things, especially if you're flying. You can have a couple little baggies of things and use your discipline and your will to resist things that you don't normally eat. That's all I'm saying. But if you do find yourself eating that, the sugars like I did, well, don't beat yourself up. And that was a choice I made, because if we beat ourselves up, it's a very low vibration. It's a very negative mindset. And again, more gets more. So it's a vibration thing. And this whole, law of attraction talks all about that at depth. If you are at a low vibration, you're going to attract more low vibration thoughts, experiences, which is, I know this. That's why it was so important that I get back into alignment. So I'll recap here for the highly sensitive. 1 is sit at the back of the room. 2, bring a little cozy baby blanket. 3, bring a pillow. And there are some interesting ones I saw, some small ones that you can get online, or if you've got a down one, they're really packable. They're squishable, which normally I do bring a pillow when I travel if it's going to be for a long while, but I didn't this time. So I'm seeing that I could have taken care of myself better, because normally I do bring a really cozy blanket. I didn't do that because just packing, I was trying to pack light. So, and the other thing is you go to the back of the room, the back row, and if you find people saying, hey, you're not in your row, because they do like that. I don't think anybody would say that. They didn't to me. But say, hey, I'm highly sensitive, and I find this allows me to go deep in my meditations. They'll let you take care of yourself. The team is amazing, so loving, so present. Oh, by the way, I did ask a team member what to do. They didn't have a clue. They're not highly sensitive. For them, it's like, I can go deep, no problem. 2,100 people in a room, I can meditate. And then the last one is high vibration food. I think I covered all of that. Oh, headphones. Headphones is check out one of the headphones. So you're going to be able to hear his meditations. Everything comes through the headphones, which is so cool. Brilliant idea. But you'll be able to tune out the outside world. Okay, so the last thing, which I had no idea why people come to these events. So I noticed there's a lot of really vibrant, healthy people there too. So it's not everybody sick. I don't know what the percentage is, but if you can imagine, if someone's ill, they're going to have a strong broadcast, a strong emotional, I'm in pain broadcast. They can't help it. I'm not blaming anybody. Oh my gosh, when I've been in pain, there's an inner cry that's screaming. Well, as a sensitive person, you could start to feel that, which I did. Not so easy, not so fun. Yeah, not fun at all. Okay, it's a Kundalini experience. What's that mean? Is that, and I'm not going to go into the teaching because he does it brilliantly, is that the pineal gland, if you can connect to it, or what he calls rub it, or activate the crystals in it, you can have mystical experiences. So what does that mean? Well, I don't know if this means this for everybody, but there were people in the room who, I don't know if they had a Kundalini experience. They sure made a lot of noise. Moaning, screaming, crying out. And he is guiding people to connect to the mystical. That's where he is right now. And the mystical and the healing, that's his passion, his purpose, which is brilliant. It's amazing to witness that. Someone so switched on and so skilled at guiding people there. So if that's not something that's of interest to you, that's all of the meditations pretty much. It's having a Kundalini experience, tapping into the pineal gland to switch on the mystical, and healing. That's what the purpose is of these advanced retreats. So we'll wrap all this up. Again, do I regret going? No. Do I regret going the way that I did? Not prepared? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. I was in suffering and it wasn't comfortable. And so had I prepped, I did not think to tune in. What do I need? So hopefully this finds you if you're considering attending a Dr. Joe Advanced retreat. And by the way, find your people. There are people in that group who are on a highly developed spiritual path, very faith-based. There are people who are new to their journey. So be discerning. Find your people. And if you can, hang out with them. Again, because that's going to raise your vibration. You're not on your own in a group where there's so many different energies going on. That's going to really help. And when you come back home, I think I'll wrap up with this, is be aware you've been in a process that you're not going to be able to describe it to people, so perhaps not even try. What I did is I asked someone, what do you want to know? And that's what I responded. I didn't go into all the detail and all the insights and the revelations that I got for myself, and because those are sacred, unless you get a strong sense that someone can receive it, don't. I did share one, and because I'm sensitive, I can feel that the other person pushed back, and that didn't feel good. I was already in a heightened state of sensitivity. So ask them what they want to know, and then you tell them, and then that's it. And be aware, if you're married or you have children, you're going to be in a sensitized state. And that don't expect to do business as normal. Really, if you can, give yourself some time to integrate, to come off the mountaintop and journal and continue your practice, whatever that is. What we did as a group, there were a few people I knew, I live in Austin, and there's a woman who was going to the advanced retreat in Austin. She found out that I was going, so we connected. And what she did, and I thought it was fabulous, is she created a group of people who went to the retreat, and we've been doing meditations every evening at 8 p.m. our time in Austin, Texas. And that's helped me keep plugged into the work. And that's not so much, not true, because I am plugged into the work. I mean, I do an hour meditation mostly every day. The shortest ones are like 20 minutes I do every day. But what it did is it helped me push myself, because we did a 4.5 hour pineal gland meditation that started at 4 a.m. And I stretched myself, and I did it. So I wanted to keep stretching myself. So I'm doing 2 meditations a day. It's fabulous. In the morning when I wake up, and at 8 o'clock at night. So that's 2 hours a day I'm meditating. And that's nurturing to me, especially because it's in my own home, my own sacred space. I've got my meditation blanket on. That's funny, I never called it my meditation blanket, but yeah, I guess I kind of have one. And then I have headphones, which help me go within, and I know I'm safe. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, this is long. Next one, and then we will wrap up, is he gives us, for the retreat only, is you get walking meditations. He gave us 4, because we do 3 walking meditations, and then we do a walking meditation to prepare for the Coherence healing, which is beautiful. Oh, I will share that too. The Coherence healing, preparing for that, is do the walking meditations. So this is what I did, is in any walking meditation, you're supposed to stand. I found that uncomfortable, so I've decided to sit. So I sit in my home with a walking meditation. I don't know, what is it, 10 or 15 minutes. So you go deep, and then I walk out for my walk. And so yesterday I did that, and I timed it brilliantly because there are 2 pause points in the walking meditation. So you stand, or you can sit down if you want. And then the last pause point is at the end of the meditation, is I timed it to get back home so that I could lay down, because he does have you lay down at the end. So I do suggest play with those walking meditations when you get back. You'll get access to them for 30 days, and then they'll be wiped from your phone, your device. And then if you like one of them, buy it. So walking meditations, they're profound because they're helping you be out in the world, and especially as a highly sensitive person or empathic person, being out in the world strong and into yourself and in your own inner coherence and alignment is so helpful. So try the walking meditation on your own. If you could do it with others, great. And be gentle with yourself. If you need a break, take a break. The Facebook group that you get to be part of before the retreat, they're going to blast you because I asked that question, do you ever take a break to integrate? Oh my gosh, how many people like, blah, 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 why would you want to do that? You've paid to go there and be in it 100%. I was like, what? So anyway, I didn't pay attention to them because that's their program. That's not mine. So if you need to take a break, which means give yourself permission to sleep in if you need to sleep in. Now, I'm not saying bug out, because you don't want to be disconnected from it, but give yourself permission, because if you're definitely getting an inner message that you need to integrate something, that's going to give you a benefit in the long run. I'm not saying allow your programs, your body to dictate. No way. No. If your body's saying, I need sleep, but you feel you need to be there, by all means, master the body. You are the horse. You're not the horse. You're the rider on the horse. And Gurdjieff has a fabulous picture. George Ivanovich Gurdjieff, one of my favorite early teachers on this path, there's an image of horse and there's a man, and he's in a carriage, and there's horses driving it. And to be master of the horses, to be master of your body, and to be in command. I mean, that's the work I do, and It's also the work he's teaching, which is fabulous. Doesn't mean that you give your power and authority away to Dr. Joe Dispenza. And that's the thing that I will wrap up on. Do not give your power and authority away to Dr. Joe Dispenza. There is no power, no authority out there stronger than your inner authority. Always remember that. Always listen to that. And you're going to have a fabulous time at the retreat. And I'd love to hear how you got on. And if this was helpful, reach out to me. So much love. And I admire your courage. This work is not for the fearless. You are intrepid, and I love you for that. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to get early notice and get on the wait list for the Manifesting Guide, go to themanifestingguide.com/waitlist, and there are some cool bonuses like a live training with me, and you're going to be the first to get the book. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast, and until we meet again, remember, trusting yourself above all others will keep you healthy, wealthy, and wise.